With us today is Tina Gilbertson, author of the new book, Constructive Wallowing, How to Beat Bad Feelings by Letting Yourself Have Them. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Isabel.
So, Tina, constructive wallowing, isn't that an oxymoron?
You would think so, but not at all. Because Isabel, when you let yourself have the feelings that you're actually having, you're doing two very constructive things. First of all, you're letting the feeling move through you without interference, which makes it go through you faster so you feel better sooner. And secondly, you're forging a better relationship with yourself. You're saying, I see you and I care about you. I want to be with you right now. Instead of treating yourself like someone that you don't want to be around.
You say that much of what we think of as being true is actually a myth when it comes to emotions, and in your book you list some myths, and we have 3 of them here. The first myth is that feelings go away faster if you don't dwell on them.
That is so not true. And if you think about it, you'll notice that it's not true. That's the opposite of the way feelings work. And you can see that in good feelings. When you feel peaceful or contented or joyful, how long does that feeling stick around? It doesn't last forever. Why? Because you're dwelling on it, you're living in it, you're embracing it, and it's doing what feelings are meant to do in that case. It's moving through you and on the way out.
The second myth that you talk about is that you can control your feelings by choosing your thoughts.
Yeah, this is true on the planet Vulcan, but for those of us who are not Spock on Star Trek, we're not supposed to control our feelings. We're supposed to have an emotional experience. We're human beings. But, if you wanted to try choosing your thoughts so that you didn't feel bad, that's tantamount to just distracting yourself from your feelings, alienating yourself from your feelings. You could do that, but as a long-term strategy for emotional health, it doesn't work at all.
The third myth that you talk about is that anger is a toxic emotion.
There is no such thing as a toxic emotion. Anger is difficult because we don't know what to do with it. But it's not the emotion itself that causes trouble, it's what we do with it. What we end up doing is we suppress it, we create stress in our bodies and our minds, or we explode and we let our behavior go nuts and then scare everybody and we're violent and aggressive. But violence and aggression are not the same as anger. We need to understand that emotions and behavior are different.
In your book, you offer a 5-part process for wallowing called the truth technique. Could you walk us through that?
Absolutely. It starts with T, which is tell yourself the situation. So very simply, you just say a few words about what's going on. I had a fight with my sister. I lost my job. They don't have my favorite muffin at the store. Or maybe it's just I feel blue and I don't know why. And then what you do is you try to realize what you're feeling. That's the R in the truth technique. It's helpful to put a word to your feelings if you can. It's soothing to find a label for something and help it make sense. So some of the feelings that people have trouble finding words for very often in life are resentment, shame, and dread.
And then the U.
The U is uncover self-criticism. If you're struggling with a feeling and fighting with your own experience, it's as if you're saying to yourself, I'm doing something wrong. I shouldn't be feeling this way. So instead of taking that critical stance, what you want to do is try to understand yourself. Bring compassion and curiosity where there was criticism. So you ask yourself, why would a good person feel this way? And then H is just a reminder to have the feeling. Embrace it, immerse it, let it move through you. Don't go over and over the situation in your head. Don't ruminate and worry. That's just a distraction and it's not constructive.
That's a very soothing technique.
Good, I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here and sharing with us about your book.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.